What is up, woke family? It's your boy Wokey Bucks, and I'm back again with another live stream. So the topic that I'll be discussing this live stream today is in regards to what we can learn from Kevin Samuels, right? His passing. And I think this is an important topic to really discuss, right? Because unfortunately, in this world that we live in, I want to make this point very, very clear. We live in a very, 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 very demonic world, right? Where people start to celebrate people's passing in a negative way, right? Because I think it's important for us to discuss that there's two different ways to celebrate the passing of someone, right? Especially an important figure. It can be a celebration of life, which is a very, very positive thing, right? You celebrate that person's life, you celebrate the positive things that that person did, and you acknowledge them and you give them their flowers, right? And there's also a negative way to do it, which means that you're celebrating that that person has passed on, which no one should ever pray on their worst enemy that that person dies, because once you pass on, right? I don't want to say die, but once you pass on, you never come back. And what's unfortunate is that in the black community, especially on Twitter, you have a lot of African American women, you have a lot of black women that are celebrating the passing of Kevin Samuels in a very negative way. And it's like, that is, like I said before, this is something that you should never, ever, ever, ever wish on your worst enemy to pass away. And you guys are celebrating it all because he told you the truth, right? I think it's important for we as men to really be able to understand the reality of the situation, bro. A lot of people will not like it when you tell them the truth. They would rather have you tell them what they want to hear than for you to tell them the truth. The minute you tell them the truth, you become an enemy. The minute you tell them the truth, you become an op to them, bro. And it's just the truth. You feel what I'm saying? You become an enemy to them because they don't want to hear the truth, bro. They want you to tell them what they want to hear, bro. And it's sad that someone like Kevin was able to tell them the truth and they couldn't even take it. Instead, they tried to call him a misogynist instead of call G-A-Y, right? We're not trying to offend the alphabet community, you know what I'm saying? But it's unfortunate, man. Like, just the society that we live in today, it's like you can't even be honest. You feel what I'm saying? You can't even be honest. If you're honest, oh yeah, you're doing too much. You're going against the social norms. In this society, you have to realize that the world we live in, right? They don't want you to be different from anybody else. They want you to be exactly the same. They want to group you the same. They don't want you to do different things, because the minute you do different things, they start to judge you. They start to question you. They start to make you feel like you're not there, right? At least mentally, you're mentally off. And the thing I'm gonna say to you guys right now is that you cannot allow society to dictate how you move. You have to move on your own terms. And when I say your own terms, I'm talking about you being led by the Spirit, which is God. You have to be led by God. Don't be led by man, because when you're led by man, you're going to sin and you're going to fail multiple times, right? That's the honest truth. That's why you should never allow yourself to be led by man. Don't allow society to dictate what you can do and what you cannot do. Because when you allow society to dictate what you can do, now they're dictating your whole moves. And when they dictate your whole moves, you're literally powerless. You feel what I'm saying? You're literally powerless. Let me say that again. You're literally powerless. You literally have no say so. They tell you to jump, you gotta jump. Hold on one second, guys. They tell you to jump, you gotta jump. They tell you to, you know what I'm saying? You don't have a say so as to what you want to do in order to be able to make your life better, or what you can do in order to be able to make the lives of other people around you better. And it's sad because that's the way society wants you to be. That's the way society wants you to be. Society wants to be able to control you and control all your actions. They don't want you to be able to have a say so. So when you're somebody like Kevin Samuels, when you're somebody like myself, when you're somebody like Fresh and Fit, when you're somebody, you know what I'm saying? They try to shame you. They try to shame you. But you have to understand that at the end of the day, the power is in your hands. The power's in your hands for somebody who wants to be able to make change. You got to be able to step outside of your comfort zone. You have to be able to take being ostracized by society. Society is going to have a judgment on you either way. You feel what I'm saying? You have to be willing to be able to be ostracized by society in order to be able to make an impact. These black women, especially on Twitter, bro, they are tarnishing this man's legacy by trying to say that all he did was downgrade black women. It's like, bro, it's not like that. Y'all try to make it seem like Kevin Samuels didn't even hold black men accountable. Because, let's be honest, a lot of black men, right, they grew up in single mother households. Like I told you, the rate is literally 73 to 75%. It's literally that rate in 60 years has literally jumped by almost 3 times as much. In 1960, at the time that welfare was introduced, it was at 25%. Now it's jumped up to almost 75%. It's between 73 to 75, right? Because they're encouraging black fathers to not be in the home. And any little thing a woman will try to use to say that a man is a deadbeat, and then she'll try to consider herself a single father or a single mother. That's the reality, man. That's the reality. So it's good for one to really know the situation in which it's going on, bro. And all I can say is that for all of those people that were talking about Kevin Samuels in a negative way, understand that your time is eventually going to end up coming. Your time is going to come. And when your time comes, you better pray that God has mercy on your soul, because that in which you guys did is very evil and very demonic. And I rebuke any type of demonic force that is in you to be saying all of those evil things. This is a man that tried to help so many people. He's even vocalized that he saved marriages accidentally, right? Because of what he taught, because of the person he was, because of what he stood for. And it's so disgusting. It's so sad. It's very embarrassing, right? To be able to see people that have the mouth to say those things that they said about him, right? Some people even came up with the accusation that he died alone, which isn't even true. Even worse, you had people that were spreading rumors, right? People that were trying to be the first person to tell whether he had passed away or whether he was alive. And it's like, why don't you allow the police department to do their job? Why do you feel like you have to be the first person to do that? That's disrespectful. You guys literally disrespected this man's family because they heard about his passing on social media even before the police department told them. Now, please put yourself in that situation. If that were you or if that were your family member, would you be happy if somebody else did that to you? Would you be happy if somebody else did that to you? That's my question to you. If you know you wouldn't be happy, then that's just the point. Because that's very disrespectful, bro. It's very disrespectful despite the fact of how many lives this man has changed, right? He taught people what the real value of a high value, or the real definition of a high value man is, and what you have to do in order to be able to become a high value man, especially in the financial aspect of it, right? Here in this channel, we go a little bit further into the definition of what a high value man truly is, right? For you to become a high value man, you have to improve in the 5 areas of your life, or you have to improve in one of those 5 areas, whether it's spiritual in your relationship with God, mental, physical, financial, or emotional. If you can improve in one of those 5 areas, you're in the top 20% already, right? And I'm talking about like improvement until mastery. Once you've mastered those, then you know you're in the top 20%, right? But Kevin more or less talks about high value from the sense of money, which is also not bad. Like that's one of my 5. So, for what I'm saying, it's not that much different. We're more similar than we are different. But on top of all that as well, too, bro, like you have to realize that in this space that we're in, which is basically the manosphere, you have a lot of content creators that like to attack each other and attack one another. And it's like, bro, anything that's gonna cause us to attack each other or to say bad things about each other, we have to stop it, bro. Because if we don't stick together, bro, nobody's gonna be able to believe us. Nobody's gonna be able to understand where we're coming from. You feel what I'm saying? We have to stick together. 100%, we have to stick together. It's so important. Literally so important, bro. But it's not going to happen when we're all arguing about things that we literally almost agree on, right? Anybody who's in this manosphere understands that we agree on probably 85 to 90% of the things. But that remaining 10% is probably our approach, which is obviously going to be different depending on the man, right? Not every man is going to have the same approach, which makes some men different than others. But it's okay. It is what it is. It's part of the game. The reality of the situation here is that don't allow that to be a reason why you're going to be able to argue or start beef with another YouTuber, another person that's a part of the manosphere, right? Another content creator, because we don't need to be doing those things. This is our opportunity to be able to remember one of the most important people, especially now in the Black community, right? Was a leader, was an icon. That is Kevin Samuels, bro. We cannot use this as an opportunity to be able to bash him. We're not for that, especially here in the manosphere, especially here on this channel. We're for him. We accept him. We embrace him, right? May his soul rest in peace. Amen, right? We really, 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 really need to stand by justice. We need to stand by peace, and we cannot allow people to defame this man's name, bro. Because the reality of the situation is that he's changed so many lives, and he's still about to change even more lives, even though he's passed on, but his videos are still there, right? What are videos? Videos are basically assets that are going to live on the internet forever. So people are going to still come across his videos, and they're going to say that he changed their lives, but they don't know, or they do know that he's passed on. What we can learn from Kevin Samuels is, like I said, this man was an icon. This man taught men about how to become high value and taught women how to be able to become the most feminine, submissive, traditional version of themselves. All of us sincerely need to understand that if we can do our traditional roles, if we can stay in our traditional roles and focus on God and how we can become the best versions of ourselves, every other thing is going to come into play, and every other thing is going to fall into place. Right? It's good for us to stay connected. It's good for us to stay locked in. It's good for us to stay focused. Especially in this demonic world we're living in right now, let's not allow Satan and his demonic forces to be able to control us in any aspect of our life. Right? People saying all of those things about Kevin Samuels after he had passed away, that was a demonic attack. That was a plot of Satan and his demonic forces. But we know that the power of God is greater than the power of Satan. So let's stay locked in. You feel what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, guys, let's get into it. So, like I said, we already know the power of God is greater than the power of Satan. Therefore, we have to stay locked in. We have to stay focused. We cannot allow ourselves to get distracted. We cannot allow ourselves to get off track, right? That's what the devil wants us to do, but we can't allow it, right? The devil allowed all those negative things to be said about him. Now, it's up for us as woke people of the Most High God to be able to bring back justice, to be able to bring back the right things. Let's stay locked in, right? Let's stay locked in. Let's do what's right. Let's stand by truth, right? Because the reality of the situation is that our time is coming. No one knows when their time is coming. So what I will say to you is that at the end of the day, if you do what's right, good things are going to happen to you. If you do what's wrong, bad things are going to happen to you. Let's carry on this man's legacy, the icon, Kevin Samuels, and let's continue to move forward. But we have to have the right mentality and understand that at the end of the day, no matter what type of trial we face in life or no matter what type of tribulation, God has our back. And Kevin does too. That's why he made the videos, right? That's why he made those videos, because he wanted to see men improve. He wanted to see women improve. But like I said, in the world we live in now, a lot of people do not know how to take correction. A lot of people don't know how to be able to listen when other people try to tell them stuff. Especially women, especially when the situation with Kevin Samuels, bro. Because that was what he was blowing up for. He was telling women that they were going to die alone. And it's not because he's telling them they're going to die alone because they're going to die alone. It's because they're not willing to implement their strategy on how to get men. And they expect men to just come to them like flocks. It's like, nah, bro, you got to bring some sort of value to the table. And am I saying that you have to have a 9 to 5? No. But Are you agreeable? Are you combative? Do you know how to cook? Like if a man is gonna come into your life, there are certain things that you have to come with. It's the same way that he has to come with the bag. And even if you get your own bag, he's not going to really use it because the money you make, unless you're that type of woman who, like, in my opinion, I would consider a wife material. In my opinion, whatever money you bring to the table, if you make your own money, you're gonna have to bring it to us because we're gonna use your money and we're also gonna use my money. You know what I'm saying? But in the world we live in today, if you have that mentality, you're a misogynist. So people call me a misogynist, people call me sexist, right? But the reality is that we're gonna use the money to be able to work on how we can become greater together. You know what I'm saying? But just to wrap up this live stream, man, we're gonna get another live stream in a couple of minutes. We're gonna do a reaction video, but the point here is that this man, Kevin Samuels, his legacy lives on forever. He's an icon. Let's use this as an opportunity to be doing better by each other and to stick together and to not allow our brethren, right, our brothers and sisters to be saying negative things about people who have tried to help our community prosper and grow. Satan's around the corner and he wants to be able to confuse people and make people think negatively and cause them to get into their feelings. This isn't the time. Yes, we're in spiritual warfare, but this is the time to be strong, trust in God, and understand that good things are about to happen in every single one of our lives. If you understand, it's because you're woke. If you don't understand, you're not woke. This is going to be in this live stream. If you like this live stream, make sure you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this live stream with your friends, subscribe to the channel at WokeEbucks, WOKEEBUKS. Tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. Patreon link will be down in the description below, and so with social media links. So make sure you go give those a check. But without further ado, this is going to be in this live stream. This is WokeEbucks, and I'm out, man.